Right guys, I'm just getting set up here at the beautiful Youlden fishery. Gonna have a quick afternoon session, practice, try and catch some roach and some crucians. And like I said, I'd do a little review best I can of the MAP 301 Competition 3G pole, 14.5 metre. This is the bag that it comes in, nice deluxe pole bag as they call it. Nice solid waterproof material all the way around. Big oversized zips so that when it's cold and wet you can still zip the bugger up and not have to worry about trying to grip it too much. It is a bit dirty because, you know, it's been in my car since the last match a few days ago and I haven't managed to wash the bag down. But this is your side compartment. I'm gonna open it up a bit for you. In there I've got my brolly, I've got a feeder arm just because it's the only place I can store it, and my landing net pole, so I'll get that out because I'm going to need that at some stage. It's a beautiful day here, as you can see. I'm actually sweating already. And what I'll do, I'm just going to get it and lay it down flat on the floor like this. Okay, so zip that part up. And I'll grab the zip and pull it down. You can see what it's like inside. It's a nice rubber reinforced base as well, just to keep any water from being sucked up while it's sitting there. And of course, if you're putting your pole down, up and down, it's going to stop it. The pole comes in all the tubes like this. You've got the main pole, which is there. That's this one in here. If I can just take it out a minute. Yeah. That's your main pole. There's that one with all your sections inside of it. Then you've got your top kits. Now your top kits, I think it comes with four power kits and a match kit and a cupping kit. Of course, that's one of your pieces for your cupping kit. I've got a lot more kits in here because of course I have the 101 pole and I've added some of the kits to it from that. That's your 14.5 metre section, and you'll know that because it actually says 14.5 on it down there. And then buried underneath there is the dolly section. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it together. That's what it's like. Say you've got your retaining straps and everything. It's not as good as a hard case for retentions and everything, but that's why I keep everything inside its little plastic tubes for protection wise. But I'll put it together, put it on the rollers, and let you see what it's like set up. Probably at 13 metres, maybe at 14.5, but depends on how my arm goes. Like I say, my arm still ain't back to full strength, but it'll give you an idea of what the stiffness of it's like. I'll be putting a match elastic on the top kits. I've got two match elastics I'm using today. One's a 7 and one's a 6 to 8. One's New Fish, one's Preston Slit hybrid, both hybrids. And they'll show you what it's like with the weight of a normal thin match elastic on it. And yeah, I'll see how it goes. Here we go. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully. So, what I've got the pole together here. I've not got a lot of room behind me. So it's all on one roller, so you have to bear with us on that one. And what it is, I've got it set up in 2-2-2, so top kit's behind me. And then it's the 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, 7th and butt. And that'll be at 13 metres. It's all I'm going to set up because it's just too much faffing about trying to put a 14 and 4 dolly butt and everything and trying to put it all together when I've only got the one roller room and ability to set it up like that. But I'm going to put it together. I'm going to turn the camera slightly outwards, or maybe I can just put it, maybe you'll see it, I don't know. I'll have a look and see what I think you can see. And I've got the kits, like I say, these are match kits that I've got set up. I'll put this one on it first, I think. Yeah. When I'm fishing, I've already depthed it. It's about 5 foot deep. To give you an idea of my setup when I'm here, this is a number 6 to 8 New Fish elastic hybrid. I've got a Drennan Silverfish 1, 0.3 of a gram on to get down fairly quick, but I've got my shot all spaced out in the bottom third, if you will, because I want it to go down but not too fast. I don't want to bulk it so it's all dot, 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 dot when I shot in. It's £3 main line, and I've got a £2 bottom with a Drennan Maggot size 16 hook on. Just because there's some good cruies in here, some really good tench, and some bloody big roach. And if I get one of them today, I'll be very happy. So that's going to be my method, if you will. So what I'll do, just for the sake of, I'm just going to stick a mag wire on. Just for the sake of it while I do this. There's a Maggie. So that's the top section. That's the next one. Now all the kits, all the sections, if you will, have numbers and aligners for the backbone strength of the pole, if you will. And normally when I'm fishing here, this is how I'd be using it, just top 2 plus 2. And as you can see, with a match kit on, it's stiff as a board. There's no sag in it at that distance. If I was doing that and I miss a bite, there's no whip, there's nothing, it's just straight up and down, you know. When you start getting to your normal distances that I'd be fishing at, which would be the 6. I mean, if I hold it up against the skyline, you can see it there. It's not bouncing, it's not sagging too much. Again, if I put it into the water, if I turn it around that way so you can just see it a bit better. If I put it into the water like that and hold it still, like that, if I get a bite and a miss, again, there's no real bounce and jump or anything on the pole. It's just nice and responsive. It straightens itself out fairly straight away. It starts getting heavier when you start putting these sections together. See, this is where my arm has been letting me down as of late. I have literally not got the strength properly to hold this and slot it together, even though it is light. I just can't do it. If I was using one of my old poles, like my margin pole, God forgive it. But this is all the way now to the butt section. This is fishing it at 13 metres. And like I say, you can still see I can hold it straight like that, no problem, in 2 arms. Put my pole in. If I turn that again for you to see, you can see there's a little bit of sag between it and the tip. That is with a, like I say, a 7s elastic in. Doing that, and if I strike and hold, again you can see it's fairly responsive on the pickup and settling straight away. So if I do that, it's not bouncing around like a banana. And for a pole that is sub £1,000, you know, I don't think you can go very wrong with it. It's going to get you out to most places that are 14 metres fairly easily. The 14 metre section on it is a bit heavier, I'll give it that. It's not the most comfortable, and you wouldn't want to be fishing with it in the wind. But fishing at, you know, 13 metres, quite comfortable, sitting it across your legs like this, no problem, do that. Wouldn't be a bother. Shipping it back and forth, fine. It's got a nice easy ship finish to it, so it's not going to start catching on your clothing or anything like that. Now, I'm not going to be fishing at 13 metres out there, but my float's sitting quite proud and happy. I'm quite happy with how that's sitting, to be honest. Makes me wonder, should I fish at 13 metres? But no, a lot of the fish come here normally in the margins, or like say top 2 plus 2. I'll bring it back anyway, put it on that roller. And I'll get back to where I'd normally fish. Hold it at that. Let's see, put that there. I've got a rather long lash on this just so that I could tilt the camera around or whatever, or tilt the viewing area around so that you could actually see the pole. I'm not going to start fishing just yet, not properly anyway, because I've not baited up or anything. All I've done is get the depth, figure out where I'm fishing. I know where I've got that sort of sitting at the moment. I'm over depth by about 4 or 5 inches. And the only reason I've got it over depth by 4 or 5 inches is I've got a registry shot on my hook length. But if that moves, that float's going to shoot up or fly away straight away and no bite. I might dot it down a bit more because it is fairly flat calm, as you can see. It's very sheltered here. You can have a wind of 30 mile an hour on this lake, 40 mile an hour, and you won't see a ripple. It's very sheltered with the trees and the reeds all the way around it. So I might just dot it down. I have it set a little bit high because the last places I fished with this rig there was a bit of a ripple. I was finding it hard to see my float in the doppled light on the water. So what I know, in fairness, what I normally do when that happens is, if you've got a doppled light on your on the lake that you're fishing at the time, and you're using, just for argument's sake, one of these Drennan AS floats that have got a fairly long bristle, I tend to dot it so that it's got about 1.5 inches of the bristle showing, and then put some little white markers on it, maybe some Tipp-Ex or something, just so that if it does move out of those ripples, I'll see it drop or rise regarding. And of course, you soon scrape it off these bristles, that Tipp-Ex, it doesn't do any harm. So yeah, bring it back into where I am going to feed now. Top 2+2, like I say, 2+2, this thing's light as a feather, you don't even know it's in your hands. It's great. That's where I'm going to try and fish. I'm going to fish 2+2 out in front of me here. Maybe bait another further line with a bit of just loose feed, like some loose micros. Put a little bit of ground bait in here, not a lot. And then over to this margin line in front of me here, if you will. There's a fallen tree. And I know that can be literally a harbour for fish. They love it in there. Now you see now in there where it's on the fours, the top 2+2 section, it's deeper. And it's deeper by about 4 inches. So that shot that I had sitting on the bottom out there is off. So my float's sitting a bit further down now in the water, which is fine, I'm not worried about that. I'll use my other rig for the margins because I've got that set up a lot shallower. But on this lake, in fairness, the margins kick in straight away. As soon as you go half a foot or a foot off the margin, you're in 3 foot plus of water, maybe 4 foot of water. And the Crucians and Tench love it. They love it down there. In the height of summer, you only need to use your top 2 sections and that's it. You can have a field day catching big Crucians and some good Tench, some big old wobbly perch as well in here. Oh. As you've seen in some of my other videos, I've had some big ones of them out of here. Birds are chirping. It's warm, in fairness, very warm for a nice spring day. Trees are just starting to bud, some of them. There's the hawthorn and everything behind me here, that's all just starting to get the green shoots of spring on it. The daffodils are up. Just got to look out for the bluebells next. So yeah, there you go anyway. You've seen the 301 setup and at full length and what its response in the tips like with a match tip. Power tip, heavier elastic, a little bit more of a sag, but again it doesn't whip around like a elastic band when you strike it, nothing sort of thing. Because we all know what it's like when you're fishing out far, fishing to an island, you get a bite, maybe a liner or something, you strike a bit too enthusiastically, and if you've got a whippy pole, it's bouncing around like this, and normally it can tangle around the ends and all sorts. It's a pain in the ass. But that is, ooh, that was a touch then. Like I say, I've not even baited up yet. All I did was throw in a handful of maggots before I started. Get the pots on in a minute. Oh yeah, that's another thing. When you put a cad pot on, it does affect it a little bit. It will, you know, sag a little bit with a cad pot on. But they're not too bad in fed, especially not if you're using the new sort of like rubber pots by MAP, or even MIDI have got those little rubber top pots, and they're great. They don't really affect it too much. Try and stay away from the hard plastic ones if you can, because they are not best of friends with pole tips. They really ain't. I've broken 2 top kits with those things, and it is through clumsiness, but every now and then you are just a little bit over enthusiastic, and that's what happens. But yeah, I'm just going to pull that in anyway before I start baiting up. Put that one, but I'll just put that there a second. Bring that in. I'm going to move these shots around a bit so that they're dotted out a bit more so that it falls evenly, because if those roach are all in the mood for cruising around and taking maggot and castor on the drop, I tell you what, I don't want to miss that. Put that there in a minute. Oh, just for the sake of it, I'll show you. Puller bead, all the tops kits that you get with it have got a puller kit fitted, so that's all handy for your pullers. I know match kits, people say you don't really need them in match kits here and there, but I like it. You know, when you hit those bonus fish, it enables you to get it under control easy. And I've also got Dacron connectors on all my top kits, whether it's carp or not, I like to use Dacron connectors. Some people put beads and some people put the old Stomphos on. I like Dacrons because what I do is, even the ones you buy, like Matrix do some of the best ones, in fairness, I find Dacron connectors. They're about that long when you've got them on your elastic, about 1.5 inches, maybe more. And sometimes you want them short, especially if you're going to fish it shallow, like for the F1 bites or anything like that. While it's there, while it's sat just out of the box, I just tie another knot and make it smaller and then cut it, and it makes the bead, you know, anything up to less than 1/2 inch. And it works fine. That's all. It's dead easy. People go on about making Dacron connectors shorter, and why don't they do that? Just literally the ones you buy, just when you get them out of the packet, just tie a knot, make them short. Dead easy. So you can have a long one or a short one, all from the same packet. Simple tip. But I'm going to have a fish here. If I get anything, I might give it a video and see how we go and all that. But that was just to show you the 301 setup, what its stiffness is like, its rigidity, what it looks like. I know you probably can't see it great, but it's a lovely finish on the map. It really is. How you've got the, I'll just put that down again in a minute, the aligners, which are there, as you can see them, top kit alignments, and tell you what piece it is. And the one thing I would recommend anyone to get, I'm not plugging the website, but if you're gonna get a pole, get some nose cone bungs or nose bungs like that, because when you're in a bit of a, you know, rushing state, we can all do that and hit the edges of the pole and chip them and what have you, and it weakens them. So this just stops that from happening. They're easy to put in, you know, you send away to the company, tell what pole you've got, they send you a pack of them. They even do ones for the top kits now, so when you're elasticating your kits or clean them out, you can put them in there and they help align the elastic and everything as well. But put them in it, like I say, and even for drops and things, if you're dropping it like that every now and then and thumping it on the floor, it's going to stop it from chipping and cracking and weakening. Absolute godsend of a thing they are, especially me, because I am clumsy as an oaf. I really am. So, map 301, I'm going to have a fish now and see can I get some of these roach and cruises on. Wish me luck. So I will say tight lines, and don't fall over and break your pole, and I'll see you on the bank. I'm telling you now, anybody who wants to go winter fishing, autumn fishing, spring fishing, whatever it be this time of year, if you can tell me a prettier fish to catch than a roach that's this sort of size, I am all ears. Look at that for a roach. Okay, it's getting on for the pound mark. Not bad for the second fish of the day. This is on that method I just showed you and just described. Big chunky fish. Nice and thick. Beautiful. Let's put him back and see what else we can get him. There's me mother. Just put him on that. Hey, that's as good as everything like that.